Hi guys, welcome to for the vlogs. Welcome to another video today. Today it's the team of the week in the Premier Division. I didn't do it the last few weeks, guys, because we only had 2 or 3 matches each week, and I wanted basically 4 matches at least out of the 5 to actually have a proper go at team of the week. You know what I mean? So let's get straight into this one. Now, number 1, I've gone for Ed McGinty, as you can see by the picture. But just quickly, it wasn't an easy choice. Mark McGinley was a serious option here as well. He made some great saves in Finn Harps' 2-0 win against Bowes. He's been in it twice already, I believe, as well. But had to go for McGinty because, yes, he conceded a goal, but he made a crucial penalty save early on against Cork. If Cork scored that, perhaps to go on and at least get a point. We don't know, but it was vital. He also made an assist, I believe, in the match as well. I seem to remember. And made some good saves. So, McGinty just about gets over McGinley. Any other week, McGinley probably gets in, guys. But well done, Ed McGinty. He gets in this week. So right back, we've gone for DARRAGH POWER of Waterford. DARRAGH POWER had a very good game for Waterford in their 1-0 win over Dundalk. Kept Michael Duffy fairly quiet. I think Duffy had 1 chance and that was about it. He did well because he came in instead of, Subabali would normally play there. So Power came in and done well. And, there was a lot of talk about players leaving Waterford, etc., etc. But they've a good nucleus, by the way, local boys there. I do believe Power is a local boy. They've got Phelan, they've got Griffin, they've got, a couple others as well, not just coming to mind. But they've got a good nucleus. Keith is another one as well. And Power did very well in the 1-0 win, was very solid defensively, tried to get forward whenever he could as well. It was difficult against the Dundalk side, but a very solid performance for DARRAGH POWER, and he gets in at right back. Now, left back this week, there could only be one man, guys, and that is Mark Russell of Finn Harps. I'm a big fan of Mark Russell, to be honest. Very, very, very honest player. Grafter, but also has a bit of quality about him that, Ollie Horgan suggested they need to see more of. He's trying to get the best out of his players there. But Russell, he can play in a number of positions. He can play left midfield, he can play left back. He's played kind of up front at times for Finn Harps this season as well, which is interesting. And, he's just a very good player. But more importantly, on the day, his 2 goals against Bohemians, crucial, obviously, in the win. Massive, massive win for Finn Harps. Keeps them up out of automatic relegation and gives them a chance actually finishing 8th that win. And, it was a good team performance. There'll be another few players in this list from Finn Harps as well, by the way. But, Mark Russell has 2 goals. You can't deny him. Now, centre-back, I'll start off with another Finn Harps player, and that's Sadiki. Sadiki was excellent in the 2-0 win against Bowes. To be honest, as was Dave Webster. And I have to say, in the last few weeks, Webster and Sadiki have really struck up a very, very solid and good partnership. Sadiki just about comes on top here for me as well. Another clean sheet for Harps. They've been built on a very solid foundation the last few weeks. They're unbeaten in 5. And, you might say 1 win in 5, but picking up 4 points has been very important as well for them. Sadiki, he came in from Hibernian. He's a Canadian. Very, very good player, young player, and is improving all the time. And, I feel he deserves to get in the team of the week. Now, the other centre-back, I went for Jake Davison of Waterford FC. Similar to Sadiki in many ways. Very young player. I believe he's 2021. He came in from Scotland. I think he struggled at the beginning a little bit for Waterford, believe it or not. But I noticed him in the last few weeks. He's improved and he's settled down in that defence. And is gaining more confidence, particularly on the ball, actually, in terms of starting attacks and building attacks. And sometimes he makes a dash into midfield as well, which is interesting. But he's just been very good the last few weeks. Another very good performance against Dundalk and another clean sheet for Waterford. I sense Brian Murphy behind him is helping them a lot as well, helping them where to be, etc., etc., because, they lack a bit of experience in the backline, has to be said, for Waterford. But Davison has really, come to the fore in the last few weeks, and they'll be looking to hold on to him, by the way. Very good performance. Davison gets in at centre-back. Now, midfield, I've gone for 3 central midfielders, and I couldn't leave out Conor McCormack of Derry City. Conor McCormack has great leadership skills, we all know that. But in the last few weeks, he's really, really upped it for Derry City. In this game, in their 2-0 win against Shelbourne, obviously good on the ball and starting attacks and all that kind of stuff. But, he's getting around the pitch. He can turn up at right back. He can turn up almost a left back, covering positions. Very good covering positions. Just very clever and knowing where to be and positionally sound. In this game, he was very, very good. what was a decent enough midfield performance for Derry City. Also, though, I noticed in the game, he made a lot of brilliant interceptions, good tackles in vital areas. Whenever Shelburne did get into dangerous areas, McCormack seemed to be there, making very clean challenges and winning the ball. And I think once he gave away a free, which is, if you're making 6-7 interceptions, tackles in a game, you give away one free, that's pretty good, isn't it? So Conor McCormack, definitely gets in this team of the week, no doubt about it. Now, the other player went for a midfield is Niall Morahan at Sligo Rovers, fresh off the back of signing a new contract with Sligo Rovers. He's only a young man. He's 20 years old. I think he's in Sligo IT as well. So, that's helped Sligo, I suppose, pin him down to another contract. Generally, he's a very, very good young player. One of the best young midfielders in the league, in my view. He's quite small, but he's tigerish. He likes to get in the ball and spray it around. He did that very well against Cork City, I felt. He performed very well in that game. I felt sorry for him against Shamrock Rovers when they're well beaten. I actually thought he performed very well in the Shamrock Rovers game, but, it's very difficult when, you perform in a game like that and maybe a lot of players around you don't perform and you're up against an excellent midfield. But this week, I think, he gets his rewards. Very good performance from Niall Morahan and one to really watch, guys. Now, my final midfielder is Barry McNamee. Now, I thought Finn Harp's midfield display against Bohemians was the best I've seen them put on as a midfield whole this season. And Barry McNamee was the main man in midfield for them as well. At the start of the season, a lot of people were very surprised that McNamee had signed for Finn Harps. And I suppose he started off slowly as well, but you still have to, form partnerships with players and integrate yourself into the team. And sometimes Finn Harps do play a back-to-front football, to be honest. That can bypass. But in the last few weeks, and particularly against Bohemians, they did play a bit in the middle of the park. And that really suited McNamee, who took the game by the scruff of the neck against a good Bohemians side and a good Bohemians midfield. Just getting on the ball, creative, tracking back, making tackles. Just a very, very good all-round midfield performance by Barry McNamee. And, it was very much a team win against Finn Harps, but you still need individuals to really perform. McNamee gets in. Now, right wing, I've gone for HAMMILL of Derry City. HAMMILL likes to hit the bar, the crossbar, or the post. I think I've seen him hit the woodwork about 4 or 5 times this season already. But he kind of set the template for the game by striking the bar after about 10 seconds, literally 10 seconds against Shelburne at the Brandywell at the weekend. And, he just has a fantastic strike on him. Very unlucky that they're not going in. Second half, he had a shot that hit the post. It was a very good strike that hit the inside of the post and came out. If it goes in, it's a fantastic goal. But I noticed in the last few weeks, he seems to be getting fitter at Derry City. It's a pity in a way because the season's nearly over, isn't it? But I'd like to think, and I'd be hopeful that Derry can sign up for next season, because I'd be excited to watch HAMMILL play next season in a full season and, fit, because he's definitely got fitter the last few weeks. He's very good on the ball. He likes a long shot. You can't give him time and space, guys, because, he's very unlucky at the moment hitting the bar and the post, that kind of thing. But his endeavours and his work rate and his skill and his quality shone through against Shelburne, and he gets in on the right wing. Now, left wing, I've gone for Junior. It's funny because I asked the question last week in one of the shows, myself and Keane. I posed the question, has Junior been a little bit of a disappointment for Sligo? And I think overall he has been. This week, though, he got an important goal against Cork City. He kind of pops up in different positions. Sometimes he's starting from the left. He can pop up in the number 10 position. Sometimes pops up in the right as well. I'm not sure if that's to the detriment of his play at times, because, when you're playing in different positions in one game, of course it can help offset the opposition, but can also offset the individual footballer. But this week he gets in. Look, he is a good talent. We know he's a good talent. Great dribbling ability. Should be scoring more goals. More pressure on him this season because of what he did at Derry last season, perhaps as well. Can Sligo rather hang on to him? I'm not so sure. But, I've gone for him in left wing. Now, up front, I've gone for Walter Figueira. Figueira can play anywhere. He can play left wing, play right wing, play number 10 up front. I do think, though, and I said it a few weeks ago, I do believe that in Derry's current structures that Walter Figueira should be playing up front. He causes ridiculous issues for centre-backs because you don't know what to do with a Walter Figueira. Drops deep, goes left, goes right, can get in behind the defence. Managed to get in the score sheet against Shelburne as well by just being in the box. Basically, it was a simple tap in, so he showed a bit of striker instincts there as well. His movement is fantastic, and I do think it's something that Derry might regret that they didn't do more often this season, to be honest, to play Figueroa from, particularly when you've got a Hammill. Jack Malone sometimes goes wide, and particularly Stephen Mallon. But I think his performance on the day is very good. His work rate is fantastic, guys. It really is. I mean, he's a defender's nightmare. And, for me, he was the only pick in the striker position for this week. Guys, that's the team of the week this week. What did you think of the team? Have you any honourable mentions? Any players you feel were unlucky to miss out? There were a lot of good performances throughout, particularly Waterford, Finn Harps and Derry City. Those three teams this week could have easily had a few more players. But that's the team I personally came up with, having seen all the games. And that's about it, guys. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and hit your bell notification button. That keeps you updated with any videos I upload. And appreciate the support as usual, guys. Thanks very much. See you now.